Hi everybody. So I'm going to show you how to make this today. It's really easy to make. It takes a little bit of time, lots of double crochets, but it's really easy. This is made to fit, I think it's going to fit about a 2T. That's what it looks like to me. It fits my 2T mannequin, so I think that's about what it's for. But I do you can make it any size you want, and I'll kind of just show you how to do that in a video. Okay, for this project I'm using Caron Simply Soft. It's a worsted weight 4-ply acrylic, and I'm going to be using a size I 5.5mm crochet hook. Okay, this top will be easy to customize from a newborn to adult. I'll just show you how I do it real quick. I just make a chain that's going to wrap around the back and come up underneath the arms and across the chest. And that's how I know what number to start with. So just chain and then wrap it around, and when it meets to the front up here, then you're good. I'm going to start with a chain of 60 for mine, and then I'm going to slip stitch in the very first one to form a ring. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the very first stitch to form a ring. Slip stitch like that, and then I'm going to chain 3. And now I'm going to work around, putting 1 double crochet in every stitch all the way around. Until I get back to the beginning. Okay, I'm coming back around. And I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of my chain 3. I'm going to chain 3 again. And again I'm going to go around with another row of 1 double crochet in each stitch. Made it back around again, and again I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of my first chain 3. I'm going to chain 3 again, and I'm going to go around again with 1 double crochet in each stitch. Now, depending on who you're making it for, you want this piece to be thick enough to cover the chest area. So of course if you're making it for an adult, it's going to have more rows to stretch over. But a child like this that I'm making it for, I'm going to do a total of 4 rows. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this row and do 1 more, and then I'll meet back up with you. I did 4 rows, and once you decide how many rows you want to do to fit whatever size you're making, just slip stitch into your beginning chain 3. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a row of slip stitches, and this is what later on we'll attach the ruffles to. So what I'm going to do is go in, I'm just going to chain 1 to start, and I'm going to go in each stitch and slip stitch loosely slip stitch. That way you'll be able to put your needle back up underneath it later. And add some ruffles. And I'm just going to do this all the way around. This whole piece. And I'm doing it pretty loose here. I got kind of leaving a bigger loop on my hook. That way later when we go back around, I'll just be able to easily put my needle under the slip stitch. If it was real tight, it'd be really hard to get stitches through it and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do this all the way around. Okay, I went around with my row of slip stitches and you can see it right there. So now I'm going to slip stitch into that first chain one that we did. Now I'm going to be working double crochets again. So I'm going to chain 3 and I'm going to work around. I'm going to put I'm going to put some increases in this row, and this is the only row that I'm going to put increases in. So, but I want to show you where you want to put your stitch. You see your row of slip stitches right here. Flip it up. Here's where you need to put your double crochets on top. You want to make sure that you still leave your you don't go into your slip stitches. So I'm going to yarn over and go into the next stitch and double crochet. Oops, I split my yarn. And I'm just going to go in the top of every stitch. If you look closely, you can see how I'm going into the top and the slip stitch is still exposed. So here's the slip stitch. You flip it and you can see the stitch that you need to go into. Right there. Again. Here's your slip stitch row. If you pull it down, hold it down, you can see the row of stitches that you need to go into. Right back there. They're still there from the previous row. We just put these slip stitches on the sides. And what I'm going to do is work 5 double crochets in a row and then a double crochet decrease. So count my chain 3, I have 5, and now in this next stitch I'm going to put 2 double crochets in it. Just make sure you're not going into the slip stitch. And now I'm going to put 5 double crochets in a row, 1 double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. 1, 2. If you just push your slip stitch down, you'll see the stitch you need to go into. 3, 4, and 5, and then my next stitch will get 2 double crochets in it. Now 5 in a row again. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 in the next stitch. And this is a pattern I'm going to repeat all the way around. And you can see that my slip stitch row is still there, and later on I'll be able to go right into it and add my row of ruffles. Coming around again, and now I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of my beginning chain 3, chain 3 again. And now I'm going to go back around again with putting 1 double crochet in every stitch. So just 1 in every stitch. And I want to do it this row and then 1 more row. So it would be counting this first row, and one more, so a total of 3 rows together. So I'm going to go ahead and go around, putting 1 double crochet in every stitch. I'm going to do that 2 times. This row, and then 1 more row, and then I will meet back up with you after that. Okay, I got my 3 rows done after this row of slip stitches. This was my increase row, and then I did 2 rows of just 1 double crochet in each stitch. Now I want to put another slip stitch row to attach another ruffle. Now if you're making this for a smaller child, you might not only need 2 rows in between. If you're making it for a teenager or an adult, you're going to need to make several more rows in between the ruffles. I don't really quite know how many. I kind of just measure the person and just try it on periodically while I'm making it. That's the best I can really. That's kind of how I do it. So then you just want to chain 1, and now I'm going to go in again in each stitch and loosely slip stitch. Just like that, just like we did before. And this is going to be where we're going to attach our second row of ruffles. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you. Back around again, and there's my second slip stitch row. You can see it. So now I'm going to, I just slip stitch into my beginning chain 1, and now I'm going to chain 3 again. And again, I'm going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch, and you want to make sure you're working back here and not in your slip stitches again. So I'm just going to go ahead and work around, putting 1 double crochet in each stitch, not going into the slip stitches. Pull my slip stitch row back, and you can see the stitches that you need to go into all the way around. Now I'm going to put 3 rows of 1 double crochet in each stitch. 3 rows. And then I'll put another row of the slip stitches for our 3rd ruffle, and then I'll finish out by putting 3 more rows of 1 double crochet in each stitch. Unless you know you made yours bigger, however many rows you have in between the slip stitches, if you made yours for a bigger person, you put however many rows you have, and then your slip stitch row, and then however many rows you have again. So as long as there's equal numbers of double crochet rows in between your slip stitch rows. So I'm going to go ahead and finish mine up. Okay, I got this done. So I got my 4 rows at the beginning, slip stitch, and then we had the row of increase, and then 2 rows of double crochet, so that made 3 rows, slip stitch, 3 more rows of double crochet, slip stitch, and then I ended with 3 rows of double crochet. Now I'm going to work on the ruffles. So I'm going to start at here's the top right here. The 4 rows, this is the top. This is where we'll put the straps. I'm going to flip it upside down like that. That way, and then I'm going to work this way. That way the stitches will be right side up, the ruffles. So you're going to start wherever. I'm probably going to start on the seam back here. And I'm going to start with the slip knot on my hook. And I'm just going to go in to the first row, slip stitches, just go into any of them. Just go right into it. and go ahead and pull through that loop that's on your hook. Now I'm going to start off with a chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and I'm going to go back into the same stitch and do 2 more double crochets. So that's a total of 3 double crochets all in the same stitch. Now I'm going to work around putting 3 double crochets in each one of these slip stitches that we put on earlier. One, had a little trouble with that one. 2, 3, and then the next one, go in, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and the next one, 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to be repeating this all the way around. One, 2, 3. 3 double crochets in every stitch of the slip stitch row all the way around. Made it back around after doing 3 double crochet in that row of slip stitch that we made. 3 double crochet in each stitch. Now I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of my first one and chain 3. And now it's just going to be 1 double crochet in the top of every stitch around. Just like this. Every ruffle is going to be made the same, all 3 of them. So once I get back around after putting 1 double crochet in every stitch, I'm going to do another row of 1 double crochet in every stitch, and then I'll move to the next row and I'll make it the exact same that I'm making this one. Now if you made yours bigger and your spaces are wider, if you put more rows in between than 3, you can put more rows of double crochet on your ruffle if you want, however many you want. But I'm going to do, each ruffle that I do is going to be just like we're doing now. The 3 double crochet in 1 stitch, the first row, and then 2 rows of 1 double crochet in each stitch. So it'll start ruffling up, and then I'll do this row and this row. Okay, here's where I'm at so far. I got my 3 rows of ruffles done. The 3 rows that we worked in our slip stitches, where we did 3 double crochet and then 2 rows of double crochet, and I did that on all 3 slip stitch rows, the same thing. And remember though, if you made yours larger, you can do more rows, or if you want to put more, made it this size that you want to put more rows, it's completely up to you. After that, what I did was I went around it each ruffle with 1 single crochet in each stitch with a different color. And you don't have to make it a different color, you can use the same color. So you just want to start with the chain 1. You can just start in any stitch that you want. Go back in and do a single crochet in that same stitch, and then you just work around the entire ruffle, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch. Just like that, all the way around, and you want to do that to all 3 ruffles. And also, I did it around the top. I just put 1 single crochet in every stitch, just around the top of my different color. But you can use the same color if you want to, but just go around the top too with 1 single crochet in every stitch. I got my rows done, and I got my single crochet around the rows and the top here. And now I marked off a place for the handles. So I just laid it out flat. And I left 13 stitches in between this area here and 13 here. And I had 20 in between each row back here. Now if yours isn't exactly, if you don't have exactly 20 like I do, just it's okay if it's off by 1 or 2 stitches. Just make sure the sides are equal amounts, and I left 13. If you did it bigger, all you got to do is put it on the person or the child, and you can just, you know, kind of guess. Just make sure it goes up on the side of the armpit, so it's going to go over the shoulder. So it's real easy to just kind of judge it. And I'm going to make my straps with single crochet. So I'm just going to start right here, over here. I'm going to go into the first stitch marker. And I'm going to chain 1. And now I'm going to go back into the same spot and single crochet. I can take that stitch marker out if you want, because you don't need it anymore. And I'm going to make my straps 4 stitches wide, so that counts as 1. And I'm going to work over 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. And then I'm going to go across again, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch. And I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work again. And again, across, 1 single crochet in every stitch. Make sure you're going into the chain 1 here at the end, because that counts as a stitch. Sometimes it's hard to go into though. And I'm going to chain 1 and turn. And again, I'm just going to keep working across, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch. And I'm just going to do it. I'm going to keep doing it until, or you want to, if you're not making the same size as me, keep doing it until it goes over the shoulder of the person that you're measuring and touches back here to the stitch marker so you can sew it on. So I'll let you know how many rows total I do. And you want to do both sides the same, and I'll meet back up with you and show you how to sew it on the back. Okay, I did 22 rows, but you can always adjust the size if you want. And I cut a long tail, and I put my yarn needle on it. Now I'm just going to neatly sew it back here where my stitch marker is. Just going to kind of line up this end with the stitch marker and sew it as neatly as I can. And I'm sure if you wanted, you could always slip stitch this on. Take out that stitch marker. So you just keep sewing it on here until you feel that it's pretty tight, and then it's not going to come undone. And then you want to do the same thing on the other handle or strap. I say handle because I do so many bags. On the other strap here, once you get ready, start it the same way, but we're going to use 4 stitches, but this time we're going to start over here, so we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's still 4 stitches in between. Go ahead and start, chain 1, go back into the same stitch, single crochet, and then single crochet over, 3 more stitches for a total of 4, and you'll be at your stitch marker. You can just take that out and continue. Chain 1 and turn, and do the same thing, and then sew it on the same way. And I did 22 rows, and if you want to do yours, whatever number you want to do yours, just make sure they're both the same size. Okay, I finished mine up. I got my strap sewed on. I might have a couple more tails I hid, but I went ahead and I just sewed a button on for decoration. You don't have to do that, but that's it. I think it turned out really cute. It did take a little bit of work. It was easy, but it took a little bit of work. I hope you were able to follow along okay. Please don't forget to check out all my other tutorials, and please, if you make this or anything, you can always post a picture on my Facebook page. Everybody would really like to see it. Until next time, have a good day.